Hi, this is Vicki with My Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and today I'm going to make this beautiful card. I'm making this using the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set, the Seaside Seashells dies, and I will also be using the Seashells 3D embossing folder. This is the Pearlescence paper, and I'm telling you, I don't know if you can see the glimmer on it, but it is just beautiful. And using this embossing folder on it, you wouldn't have to do anything else except add a sentiment and you would have a beautiful card. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is get my stamping done. So put this off to the side. And I'm going to stamp a sand dollar. I don't know about you, but I love sand dollars. They're so pretty. We live in Georgia. I grew up in Georgia, and every summer we went to the beach. And if you go to the Sanibel Island area, you will have plenty of sand dollars up under your feet, and they're just so pretty, and it's pretty amazing. Love it. Okay, that's a starfish. And before I put my inks away, I'm going to be using my sponge dauber with my Sahara sand, and I'm just going to go around the inside of it just to kind of give it some color like that. And then I'm going to come in with my balmy blue, and I have a sponge dauber for that one as well. And I'm just going to go on the inside of my starfish. Is that what I called it earlier? I can't remember. So then I'm going to take my piece of balmy blue, which happens to be 4 by 5 3/4, and I want my sentiment to be on balmy blue. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that out before I put my card together, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the front of that, and then I'll cut everything out. I'm going to use the Friends Are Like Seashells. You collect them along the way, and that's so true. Put that right in there. And then I'm going to put my ink away for right now. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and my dies. I'm going to use the sand dollar and the starfish die. And I'll just show you this really quickly. It has, this particular set of dies has a very large die that you can cut out. You have to stamp it first, but then you can cut out different shells, and then it will also have seaweed and stuff like that as well in it. So I'm going to stick that back in there, get it out of the way. And we'll go ahead and cut these out. All right. So the sand dollar is pretty cut and dry of where you're going to put it at. And I think the starfish is pretty much the same way. I think you just line it up pretty easily. No tricks to it. Then I always like to pinch it down before I run it through. Okay. All right, so we'll put that one away. And then we're going to bring in, and we will use our Pearlescence, and we're going to run it through our embossing folder. I'm going to move it up a little bit. There's a line right here that you can put your paper on, but I want to make sure that the top of that particular seashell is being shown. So I'm just going to line it up like that, stick it in and run it through. The Pearlescence with this embossing folder is just so beautiful. I said that already at the beginning of it, but it's worth saying again. It is just gorgeous. And you could really have a lot of fun with this. You could use those dies with this at this point, and you could cut these out like this. You could, instead of stamping and cutting, you could emboss and just cut them out like this. You wouldn't even have to stamp them. But it's so pretty. Okay, now let's take our thick, very vanilla, and we're going to take this piece that I punched that out of, And we're going to take our pearl piece, our pearlescence piece, and we're just going to glue that on to the balmy blue piece. Okay. I always like to make sure that my corners have the same amount of space, like this and this. If you do, then it will go on your card with just the right spacing. I haven't completely mastered the seal. I do like it, but I don't always click off the way I should, and then I have to use my finger to get it started again. But it is a good, strong adhesive. Okay, again, got the corners lined up. Okay, so then I'm taking a couple pieces of the designer series paper, and I'm going to put the larger piece on first. We did this at one of my classes recently, and I wanted to make sure that they could see the paper and really get a good idea of the colors of the paper and what was involved with it and the possibilities with it. And this paper is not going to be available anymore as of June 30th. You can get this from the January to June mini catalog. And so if you want this paper, you better go ahead and get it because it will not be available after June 30th. That catalog will be done. And a lot of the items in that catalog will be retired. All right, I'm just going to pop this up on dimensionals. Go ahead and put this on right about in here. That way both of my designer series papers will show. And now I got to find what I did. Okay, silly me. It was still on the plate. I'm like, where did it go? What happened to it? And it was still on the plate. I'm so silly. All right. So then I'm going to put dimensionals behind this. I'm going to use minis on this one. Just do about 3 of them on there. And then I'll do a couple of the larger ones on this one. And as you can tell, I am running out. Okay, so let's put this one on first. And we're just going to tuck it right about in here. And then we'll take the backings off of this one. I've been pining to get away to the beach the last couple of days. I'm needing a vacation, I think. So we're going to put that right there. And then I'm just going to add some of the opal rounds to it. These are actually a part of the suite with the seashells. They will carry over to the new catalog, thankfully. I love these. They're so pretty. They're probably one of my favorites right now. Loving them. All right, so just put them on like that. I'm going to put another one right about down in here. And that finishes this really pretty card. It's beautiful. I love it. Again, I'm going to say it again because, I mean, why not? This Pearlescence paper is amazing. I don't know if I said, but this paper is carrying over. The stamp set and the dies are carrying over. I can't remember if it's going to be at a bundle price or not, but you might want to check that. And because it is a wonderful set. It has 23 different stamps in this group, and you can actually stamp. These are part of the die. Not the die, well, it is the die, but it's also the embossing folder that you can stamp them and then emboss it and then cut it out with the die. If you want individuals, these are large enough that they're really easy to stamp and just fussy cut around them as well. But it's a wonderful stamp set. It's a wonderful set. And I would encourage you to get that paper before it is discontinued. I'm just going to put a sentiment on the inside and then add a little star. A little starfish. I'm going to say happy birthday to a beautiful friend. I am always in need of thank you cards and birthday cards. I'm just going to add a star right over here. Whoops, I got it on my tube, but it's okay. I don't think anybody will mind. Beautiful. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to see future videos. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.